Welcome to the National Autonomous University of Mexico. On behalf of UNAM Internacional and all UNAM campus in North America, including San Antonio, Los Angeles, Tucson, Seattle, Boston, Gatineau in Canada, and of course UNAM Chicago, I am delighted to present this concert by Sones de Mexico Ensemble. As you may know, Mexicans celebrate their independence during the month of September. We have had lots of activities this month, and this concert will be our grand finale. I am delighted to present our host, Juan Diez, Executive Director of Sones de Mexico Ensemble.
Welcome to Beyond the Music, a musical geography of Mexico. My name is Juan Diez, and I'm one of the co-founders of the group Sones de Mexico Ensemble. This is a non-profit organization that we founded in 1994 to promote a greater appreciation of Mexico's traditional and regional music and culture. This presentation, with the aid of this map, 6 talented multi-instrumentalist musicians, and a collection of over 50 musical instruments, will take us through a musical journey through various regional styles of music from Mexico, each with its own ethnic and historical characteristics. We have also added a few additional colors like drums and bass to give it, let's say, that Chicago plugged-in sound. But in general, I will be providing you with a brief introduction before each song, giving you a little context for each style so that we may better appreciate the nuances and the uniqueness of each style. This program was developed with partial funding from the National Endowment for the Arts, also the Illinois Arts Council Agency, the Chicago Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events, the MacArthur Fund for Arts and Culture at the Richard A. Driehaus Foundation, the Gaylord and Dorothy Donnelly Foundation, the Chicago Community Trust, and the generosity of individual donors like you who help us make these programs possible. Normally, we take these presentations on the road around the country and we present them in schools, universities, public libraries, and cultural centers. But given the current constraints on live music performance, we decided to go into a movie studio and film this presentation so that we could bring it to you. So we hope you enjoy it. Let's begin. We begin our journey in the center of Mexico, right about here. This was the seat of the ancient Aztec civilization in Mexico, and where the capital of Mexico now exists, Mexico City. The name Mexico comes from the Mexica, who was the name that the Aztecs gave themselves. And the word Mexico means the navel of the moon, Mexico, the center of creation. In this music that we're going to see with Sones de Mexico, we see some interesting instruments. I'm holding here a teponaztli. This is a slit drum made out of a solid piece of wood with a carved bottom and 2 different tones. We also have this large drum with a skin stretched over the top called the huehuet, which means the old one. Our dancer wears these rattles on her feet made from the seeds of a plant. This is called the ayoyotes. And in the beginning of the song, we're going to see her calling upon the 4 winds to the north, south, east, and west by blowing on a conch shell from the ocean. The very beginning of the song opens with a flute that was made out of clay, and it's calling upon the spirits. The name of this song is called Xipe, and it means the shedding of the skin. It was one of the deities of the Aztecs, and is a song of renewal. Enjoy. That's very powerful music. And well, let's continue with our journey. And now let's go to the Huasteca region, right here. This is located in central East Mexico, along this range of mountains over here in eastern Mexico. The Huasteca region is a tropical rainforest, and the style of music we can hear from here is called son huasteco. Son, spelled S-O-N, is a word that comes from the Latin word for sound, sonus. The name of Sones de Mexico Ensemble comes from this word. Sones means various styles of son from different parts of Mexico. So son by itself doesn't mean anything all on its own. We always have to pair it up with a regional marker, like the Huasteca. So son huasteco is the sound of the Huasteca region. So we're going to listen to a song now performed on an instrument just like this one. This is called guitarra quinta huapanguera. And it's an instrument, it's a baritone guitar that was used for this style of music. We also have this little companion guitar called the jarana huasteca, and together they provide the rhythmic backbone for this style of music. We're also going to hear in the singing voice a falsetto that breaks like a yodel at one point, and this is very characteristic of this style. The lead instrument in this song is going to be the fiddle, and it's a solo fiddle, very ornamented. The name of the song we're going to hear is called La Petenera, and this is a song that talks about maritime themes, about creatures that you may find in the ocean, and spirits. Enjoy. Well, we're beginning to see just how diverse styles of music we can find in Mexico. Let's continue our journey, and now we're going to go to northern Mexico, the style of music we call norteño. And that covers this whole territory in northern Mexico along the border with the United States. Norteño music norteño is a very generic word because it actually encompasses a lot of musical styles, including the polkas, waltzes, schottisches, mazurkas, etc. So all this music came from Central Europe, brought by immigrants from that part of the world to Mexico, who brought with them instruments such as the button accordion and the upright bass, and this instrument that was created in Mexico called the bajo sexto, which is a 12-string guitar which has a kind of a deep sound. We're going to listen to a little medley of songs. We're going to start with a schottis, which is a French style rhythm, honoring the city of Monterrey. Second, we're listening to a polka called La Cápsula, and we're going to finish with a style that borrows a little bit from the Huasteca region, but with a completely different spin. It's called the Huapango Norteño, and this one is in a minor key, which is makes it even more unique. Enjoy.
Monterrey de mis amores, te faltaba un chorizo a tus canciones. Monterrey con tu cerro de la silla y con tus grutas de García. Monterrey, Monterrey de mis amores, yo te voy a cantar esta canción por la gracia que tienen tus mujeres, ellas saben querer de corazón. En la plaza Zaragoza los domingos se pasean las muchachas más hermosas de mi lindo Monterrey. En la plaza Zaragoza los domingos se pasean las muchachas más hermosas de mi lindo Monterrey.
That was quite something, wasn't it? One of the characteristics of indigenous music in Mexico is its great sense of spirituality. Music for indigenous peoples of Mexico wasn't always a form of entertainment or fun and dance. It was a way of cleansing the spirit or connecting with the spiritual world. We are now going to take you to the state of Michoacan. Up in the plains, in the higher area of Michoacan, near the capital of Morelia, there are the territory that was occupied by the Purepecha. The Purepecha are very proud keepers of their culture. They have maintained their language and traditions for many years through the Spanish conquest and modern Mexico as a nation, and they have maintained their status as almost as an independent nation. The Purepecha have a dance or a ritual where young people will, wearing masks representing old people, will do mischief and summon the rain or dance around town, drawing laughter from different people. And we're going to perform this Danza de Viejitos, the dance of the old people. Enjoy. That was pretty intense, wasn't it? Well, one of the styles of music that most people associate with Mexico is mariachi, right? And it's almost like an icon of Mexican music, but it does have its origins in a regional area of Mexico. And let's look at this western part of Mexico. Right here is where mariachi originates, in the states of Jalisco, Michoacán, Colima, and even Nayarit. This is the cradle of mariachi music. Mariachi begins as a rural style in these regions, and around the middle of the 20th century, it was brought to Mexico City through by political campaigns, by Lázaro Cárdenas, and also by the movie industry, and it was catapulted into worldwide fame as Mexico's iconic music. Today, mariachis can perform music from anywhere, from any part of the world, and they're very versatile. But let us take us back to the origins of mariachi music. And we're gonna play a son de mariachi. Remember the sound of mariachi back to those rural times. We're going to listen to this piece called La Culebra, which is means the snake. And we're going to see the guitarrón being used, which is this bass guitar instrument, and the vihuela, which is its companion instrument. This is a strumming guitar, and it has a round back, which gives it a especially loud sound. And this bass also has a round back, which gives it a strong sound. Let's enjoy La Culebra. That was quite something, wasn't it? Right as you cross the border from Jalisco into the state of Michoacán, we get to this region called the plains of Michoacán. We follow the river Tepalcatepec into this region, which eventually flows into the Pacific Ocean. But this whole plains region is where the style of son called son planeco originates. In this music, which is closely related to mariachi in character, has a few differences. We see that it retains some of the early mariachi forms. One of them is the use of the harp. The harp was the main bass instrument in mariachi in the early days before the guitarrón was developed. And the planeco music has retained the use of this harp. The box of this harp is so large that sometimes a percussionist will come and tap on the surface of the harp. The song we're going to hear today is called El Jabalí, which means the wild boar. Enjoy.
Andándome yo paseando por la hacienda del jazmín, que por el mar almorzando se me fue mi jabalí. Andándome yo paseando por la hacienda del jazmín, que por el mar almorzando se me fue mi jabalí. ¡Oya! Señora, su jabalí, mírame que se lo dio. A mí no me lo dio nadie, mi dinero me costó. Señora, su jabalí, mírame que se lo dio. A mí no me lo dio nadie, mi dinero me costó. ¡Échale, Rudy! ¡Venga!
Let's go now to the coast of the state of Guerrero. We continue our journey down the coast of the Pacific, now to the next state, Guerrero, and also the state of Oaxaca. We call this the small coast, the Costa Chica of Guerrero. Now, one particular thing about this area is that at one point in the late 1840s, it was populated by a group of people from African descent. In Latin America, slavery of people of African descent was ended at the time of independence, which was in the 1820s. After that, by the 1840s, there were skilled miners in South America that heard about the discovery of a great deposit of gold in California. We all know about the gold rush of 1849, which not only drew people from eastern United States traveling across the United States to populate California, but also brought people from China and South America who were traveling up the coast to California. Now, all that gold was not found, and some of the black immigrants from South America settled in the west coast of Mexico, where they found deposits of silver. And to this day, this population has remained in Mexico and now forms one of Mexico's black populations. We're going to take you to the area of Tixtla, which is this striped area over here, about 100 kilometers in from the ocean. There's a series of dances where dancers imitate the movements of different animals. And this is very much done in a style that was imported from the areas of Peru and Chile in South America, where they also dance with a handkerchief up in the air, and they use a very peculiar instrument, which is the jawbone of a donkey. This instrument is used by scraping the teeth with a deer antler and also hitting the sides with the fist to make all the teeth vibrate. The name of this song is called La Iguana. I hope you enjoy it.
ay sí valedor, ahora acabo de llegar. Ahora acabo de llegar, ay sí valedor, apenitas de ahora empiezo, ay sí. Quiero que me des un beso, ay sí valedor, pero de ser sin llorar, pero de ser sin llorar, ay sí valedor, quiero que me des un beso, ay sí. ¡Epa! ¡Esa iguanita! Si quieres comer iguana, yo te la voy a agarrar. Si quieres comer iguana, yo te la voy a agarrar. En el patio de Tijuana se salen a calentar. En el patio de Tijuana se salen a calentar. Uy, 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 qué guana tan fea. Miren cómo se menea. Uy, 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 qué guana tan loca. Miren cómo abre la boca. Uy, 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 que se sube al palo. Uy, 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 que ya se subió. Uy, 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 que busca su cueva. Uy, 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 que ya la encontró. Uy, 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 que se mete en ella. Uy, 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 que ya la encontró. ¡Epa, pues! ¡Suba! Ya con esta me despido, la iguanita se acabó. Ya con esta me despido, la iguanita se acabó. Que se acabe enhorabuena como no me acabe yo. Que se acabe enhorabuena como no me acabe yo. Uy, 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 qué guana tan fea. Miren cómo se menea. Uy, 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 qué guana tan loca. Miren cómo abre la boca. Uy, 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 que se sube al palo. Uy, 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 que ya se subió. Uy, 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 que busca su cueva. Uy, 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 que ya la encontró. Uy, 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 que se mete en ella. Uy, 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 que ya se metió.
Well, we continue our journey now to the state of Oaxaca. This is the next state as we continue down the coast of the Pacific, going south and east, and we arrive to this area. This is the waist of Mexico. This is the thinnest part between the Gulf of Mexico and the Pacific Ocean. This thinner strip of land is called an isthmus or an istmo of Tehuantepec. This is also the area where the two main mountain ranges of Mexico, the Eastern Sierra and the Western and Southern Sierra, collide. So it's a very mountainous region. And in the Istmo de Tehuantepec, we have a great variety of music. Distinctly, the piece that we're going to play right now is based on a legend that is quite well known from Mexico of the weeping woman, La Llorona. This legend speaks of a woman who committed something terrible in her life, and her soul never ascended to heaven, but remained on earth in penance. And at night, her voice is heard weeping for her children. So this song is based on that, and we're going to see here an introduction called the Pineapple Blossom, the Flor de Piña, which is played on the flute as an introduction to La Llorona. La Llorona typically would be played with a large brass ensemble, etc. But also we begin to see the use of the marimba. So we're going to see that. This is called La Llorona. Enjoy.
No sé qué tienen las flores, Llorona, las flores del campo santo. No sé qué tienen las flores, Llorona, las flores del campo santo. Que cuando las mueve el viento, Llorona, parece que están llorando. Que cuando las mueve el viento, Llorona, parece que están llorando. Ay de mi Llorona, 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 de azul celeste. Ay de mi Llorona, 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 de azul celeste. Aunque la vida me cueste, Llorona, no dejaré de quererte. Aunque la vida me cueste, Llorona, no dejaré de quererte.
Well, as we travel east and south on the Pacific, we reach the end of Mexico. The last state in Mexico is the state of Chiapas. And up in this area of Mexico, one of the most iconic instruments in Chiapas is the marimba, this wooden xylophone that has become so iconic of the music of Chiapas. We're going to hear a special arrangement that was recorded by Sones de Mexico a few years ago. It's called Feria Chiapaneca. Enjoy. The music from the state of Veracruz is called son jarocho, the sound of the jarochos. And jarocho is the nickname we give to people and things from the state of Veracruz. Let's take a look. This region of Veracruz, the state of Veracruz, is a long strip of land along the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. And it includes the seaport of Veracruz, the city of Veracruz, also by the same name, which has been one of the main seaports of Mexico with contact with people from all over the world. As any major seaport around the world, like New York, New Orleans, Amsterdam, etc., there are places that are very cosmopolitan and have influences of music from all over the world. So it is to be expected that the music of Veracruz also has Spaniard influences, indigenous influences, African influences, all mixed into a very rich style of music. We're going to share with you one of our songs from Sones de Mexico that we recorded a few years ago called El Butaquito. And one of the instruments you're going to see featured is this little guitar called guitarra de son at the beginning of the song. You also see our dancer tapping on a wooden surface called the tarima, and the harp playing a lot of this music. So I hope you enjoy this. This is called El Butaquito, which means the little stool.
lindo mi corazón. Si alguna duda tienes de mi pasión, toma un cuchillo y abre cielito lindo mi corazón, mi corazón, mi corazón. Pero consiento, cuidado no te lastimes, cielito lindo que vas tú dentro.
Ay, 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 risa me da. En ver tu tirana falsedad. Saca tu butaquito, viene mi vida, velo sacando. Que te quiero ver bailando toda la noche en este fandango.
Well, what a grand finale, right? This takes us to the end of our music geography of Mexico. We have seen so much variety and diversity. If there is one takeaway from this whole performance, let it be that Mexico is an extremely diverse country. Next time somebody asks you, do you like Mexican music? Perhaps you should answer, which one?